to give the South Sea pearl a new image. I mean, we had the classical strand was established, so the classical pearl earring was there and will always be there. But we started developing a jewelry range that would have an attraction to the groovy people as well.
In 2003, Autore launched their strategy to bring their name to the attention of the world by dressing the stars in Autore pearls. Beginning with the Inside Film Awards in Australia, they launched into the British BAFTAs and eventually displayed their jewellery at the Golden Globes and the Academy Awards in Hollywood.
And tell me, do the celebrities give you feedback? Do they like the jewellery? Do they enjoy wearing it?
Well, I think that, with celebrities, international celebrities, if they don't like the jewellery, they won't wear it. So it's, for us, it's a sign of approval that they've decided to choose a jewellery to wear in such a big event.
Celebrated for innovation, style, service and quality, the Autore Group is one of the largest South Sea pearl companies in the world, selling some 600,000 pearls per year. For Rosario Autore, a hands-on CEO who is passionate about pearls, it's more than a dream come true. It's a creative vision that he never doubted would succeed because of the magnificence of the South Sea pearl.
See, that pearl there is nearly just under 21 millimeters. I mean, we've only had, I think, 2 pearls of 21 millimeters last year of this quality. The reflection on these first 2 pearls is quite strong amongst the top luster. I mean, the second pearl is remarkably the better of the 2. But as you go on to the third pearl there, you can see that the reflection there is quite opaque and there's not as much definition in there.
Today is the beginning of the intricate process in which hundreds of thousands of pearls will be graded and matched. To the expert eye, every pearl is subtly different. They must be selected into 6 different shapes, 9 basic colours, at least 15 sizes, and a myriad of different levels of luster and surface perfection. The permutations are almost infinite, but it's the ability to make perfect matches that will produce the best strands. After being shaped, the pearls are washed and polished. The pearls now go through a more refined grading and matching as they're prepared to be made into strands and jewellery. Even finding the best spot for drilling is an exacting task. The pearls are now closely scrutinised for matching colour and lustre. South Sea pearls come in at least 9 different hues, from white pink to gold green and silver blue. The hues arise from the layers of nacre and the behaviour of the light reflected and refracted in the surface of the pearl. The graded strands are now checked in size. The huge numbers of pearls that are available to Autore give a wider selection for making perfectly matched strands, but it means more skill and time must be spent in decisions.
With necklaces of this quality, sometimes we might start making a necklace one day and then build on it over the week and try and put a few more pearls on it. Then as the week goes past, then at the end of the week we might take a few pearls out again and then add a few in. So it takes a long time and a lot of patience. And really there's no machine that can be used to do this process. It's all the eye, really the sight, and based very much on experience. Last year we managed to make 2 fine quality 18 to 20 millimeters. It was the first time we managed to do those, and those type of necklaces will probably retail in excess of $1 million.
You would have had to have gone through, 300,000 oysters to try and find a necklace of this quality. These South Sea cultured pearls are the ultimate in perfection. You've got 20 millimetre pearls down to 15 millimetre pearls, absolutely huge. You have to be able to put your mind back as to how these were formed, how these were developed by nature.
For me, Broome has a special place in my heart for a number of reasons. I mean, it gave me the ability to find my true love as far as my wife was concerned, as I fell in love with her in Broome. My true love as far as my job was concerned, and really was a passion for the sea and for what Broome has to offer. So it was a combination of three things that allowed me to really succeed in life in more than one way.
We started the business with a Japanese company who were our joint venture partners, and it was when Rosario Autore came along in, I don't know, about 15 years ago now, and suggested that through him and his selling organisation that we could reach international markets. We were now able to sell directly into the European and American, Asian markets.
I felt that the producers weren't really getting a fair share of what was meant to be the world demand for South Sea pearls.
That was a very, very important time for not only the Australian pearl industry and of course the Broome pearl producers, but for us as a small family business, our involvement with Rosario has really shifted our company into a completely different gear.
For the first year we turned over $5 million. It proceeded there. The second year to turn over some $23 million, and it went up from there on. Within 3 years we were turning over $40 million and exporting quite a large percentage of the Australian total production.
If there's one thing that history tells us about the pearling industry, and that is that it's a boom and bust game.
Before the last World War, hundreds of boats scoured this coast in search of pearls and mother-of-pearl shell. The war and the introduction of cheap synthetics almost killed the pearling industry.
You have great years when lots happen and there's an abundance of everything, and then you have lean years where great disasters strike. We got the full destructive force of a cyclone called Cyclone Faye in April of last year, and that very sadly destroyed almost 50% of our stocks. When a cyclone comes through, the reef becomes completely covered in sand. All life is extinguished on that reef. And what happens is once the cyclone's been through and it's destroyed an area of reef, as the years go by, the tides slowly wash the sand back off it and everything starts to come back.
Every season, the small oysters are taken in for the delicate process of seeding with a small shell bead and a graft of oyster tissue. The oysters are then returned to the sea in a wire frame, where they will be monitored and cleaned every fortnight for the next 2 years. During this gestation period, the oyster will secrete a covering of nacre over the pearl nucleus. It is this long gestation time in the nutrient-rich waters that results in Australian South Sea pearls having the thickest nacre. These native oysters, known as pink tartar maxima, grow up to 30 centimetres in diameter, producing some of the world's biggest pearls. This is the moment of divine revelation.
Wow, look at that. Look at that. That's what it's all about. This is going to be a nice 18mm round. It's got superb luster. It's woohoo! The skipper wants a refit on the boat. Pay rises? No. Everybody would hope to see maybe one pearl like this a year in their harvest, but maybe you won't. Last year we didn't. The last pearl I've seen like this from our farm was in 1995.
Autore takes the South Sea pearl and transforms it into an astonishing piece of jewellery. Each pearl is individually hand-selected, and expert designers, technicians and gemologists work together matching the pearl's hues to complement the precious and semi-precious stones. The subtle luster and colours of pearls are a perfect complement to the glitter and sparkle of other precious stones.
Rosario has brought a big shining light to our business with new ideas, fresh ideas. He respects the pearl, and he also looks at different ways of bringing it to different markets for different age groups.
With a flair for the dramatic, Autore launched their own magazine as a major marketing tool, with international contributors such as photographer Troy House, supermodel Helena Christensen, and fashion writer Marion Hume. The publication draws wide interest from around the globe.
There, that's it, nice. And there's something about a perfect pearl, but when you add light to one, it has such depth.
Gotta get it.